Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Nivaji, for inviting me and giving me a chance to be with this such esteemed people, who spoke about leadership. So thank you very much for that. Well, what I'm going to speak about today is, the COVID-19. What has been the problem for us in Nepal, and why I feel that we're going to recover faster than most of the other countries. Of course, when you are a leader, I think the opportunities is something which you look for, and I'm going to talk about those opportunities today. Well, to start with, COVID-19, we all know it's hit us like a bolt, and we just don't know where it came from, and it's still not over. We don't know if we have reached the peak, or we have just started off. Today, the WHO head just said that we hopefully is going to be over in 2 years. Already, I think the world has paid or seen such devastating effects in the economy. I was reading somewhere after World War II, this has been the biggest event which has happened in the economies of the world. Millions of people have lost a job globally, and the whole economy is shrinking, and it's going to have huge impact on our lives in future. But having said this, I will want to focus what's happening in Nepal. Recently, Nepal Rashtra Bank just published a figure that almost 97% of the businesses have suffered 74% degrowth. That means 74% they degrew compared to what they were normal. So you can imagine how impactful COVID-19 is for our economy as well. And when businesses slow down so dramatically, I mean, if it's dropping 74%, and it's slowing down so dramatically, it will have chain effect. First of all, the banks are probably will have to book a lot of NPAs. We know that most of the weightage in our stock market is through the banks, and what I see in future is the stock markets are also not going to fare very well, and of course, when businesses don't do well, the revenues don't come, and when revenues don't come, government cannot spend on development, and that has again a chain reaction on the businesses. So what we see is something which is common to rest of the world, and it's happening in Nepal as well. But what is also worrying is in Nepal, I would like to say what is happening in the employment scene. ILO just gave their report 3 days back, and it says that from 2.3%, which was our unemployment rate, we have already reached 6.1. So it is already multiplied 3 times. So we can imagine that the situation looks pretty grim, and the jobs which people have lost and are mostly in organized sector, because organized sector is 22% people have already lost their job, and we have recently signed, FNCCI recently signed an agreement with most of the unions, to save these jobs. We said that, okay, let's, even if we don't remove people, but even if they're working 50%, we just pay them 50%, and we still try to retain the job. So this is a recent development which we have done with the unions. Also, the fact that almost 4.4 million people from the unorganized sector might be losing job. I mean, of course, these figures are guesstimates because unorganized sector figures do not come very clearly. But having said this, why I feel that we will recover faster than most of the countries, and I think I would like to focus there more. And if you see the challenges of the economies of our size, we speak about balance of payment, we speak about inflation rates, we speak about balance of trade, we speak about slow GDP growth, we speak about unemployment, we speak about leveraging, or having cost of over leveraging the economy. But I would like to say that why we should do better in all these fronts. Like, for example, in terms of balance of payment, we all know that our balance of payment is mainly because of the remittance, which is the main source or almost a 95% source of our foreign exchange. Surprisingly, so far, only the remittance has dropped 3%, which is, most of the experts had assumed that, in this period already, it will be 20 to 30%. It doesn't look like that so far. And we have foreign exchange to support our import for next 12 months. Even in World Bank standards or IMF standards, this is brilliant. So we do not have a problem in there. So the moment the COVID-19 problem solves, we will be again starting off where we left. Another thing is speaking about inflation. Inflation, which is a very, very big problem in many, many countries, especially when the COVID-19 has hit their economy. Their economies where inflation rate has gone 10-15% or more. For in Nepal's context, we're still speaking about 6.1%, which we feel is very, very manageable, and it is healthy. I mean, it's been an average which has been there for a long, long time in Nepal. Another factor which we speak about as a major challenge for developing economies is balance of trade. We all know that we have almost 11 kharbako, we have in balance. We import more than we export. So it is almost 90 is to 100, 90 is to 10 ratio of balance of trade. Surprisingly, after the COVID-19 crisis has hit us, the balance of trade has actually improved by 16%. And I see a great future here as well, because we are going to become energy surplus country from probably a month or two. And what I see is our energy imports are also going to go down. So our balance of trade is going to remain very, very positive. So I feel very positive there. In terms of our GDP growth, I would like to share some figures which I've just collected. World Bank is still saying that we are talking about 1.9 to 2.5%. IMF is saying 1%. The government is still talking about 2.7%. Now you compare this to European countries or other Asian countries. I think we are faring brilliantly despite all this challenges what we have. Another very important factor is over leveraging of the economy. We all know that we are a very under-leveraged economy, which basically means that the size of the GDP we have and the borrowing we have done. If you compare this to, we are a very under-leveraged country compared to most of the countries around us. So when we are not leveraged, there is a possibility that we're going to recover very, very fast. Now, where do we go from here? Where I see opportunities, I would like to quickly go through that. I've just been given 6 to 8 minutes, so I'll just quickly try to go into that. Now, we all know that 60% of our population basically survives on agriculture. And it's absolutely shocking and surprising how little government is invested so far into agriculture. And if you really look at our productivity in agriculture, our staple food, the productivity is 3.22%, which is the lowest in South Asia. And this is mainly because our farms are too small. We do not have laws to do cooperative farming very well. The government hasn't invested into infrastructure like canals, roads, policies, giving knowledge or providing cheaper finance to the farmers. So this was in the past. But what I see, what is a big change happening in the government now, this year, they have increased the budget by 10 arba. They are giving finance at very, very low cost interest. So I see a great opportunity here. Just imagine that we import 2 kharba, I wrote this in Nepali, so I'm going to say this in Nepali. 2 kharba 43 arba ko we import food grain. And so you can see the headroom, you can see the opportunities what we have. But what we need to focus is more high value items, and we need to do processing here. We cannot just produce and sell it to our neighboring countries and expect it to be processed there, and you pay a lot of money to bring it back. So we need to have, and I see a lot of opportunities, not even in large scale, in MSMEs. I see a lot of opportunities in agro trade or agro based industries. Another factor I would like to say in MSME. Now, if you see in Nepal, 22% of the contribution of our GDP is through MSMEs, and almost 23% of the employment which we have is through MSMEs. And I see great opportunities here. If you see the ratio of developing countries like ours, the growth engine is always the MSMEs. And I see great opportunity here because the government now is giving finance at very low cost. They have spoken about 5% as a refinancing to most of their MSMEs, and also the fact that there is other facilities which the government has given. I do not want to go into full details, but there's a big encouraging package to MSMEs. So I see a lot of opportunities here. Look at tourism, for example. Of course, this year was a disaster. We wanted to celebrate BNY 2020, but COVID-19 happened. So we were hoping to get 2 million tourists. But still, if you look at it in mid and long term, this is a country which can draw probably 10 times more tourists, if we invest in the infrastructure and if we market ourselves better. Of course, we need to focus now into higher paying tourists, instead of just getting the low paying tourists. So I see great opportunities here. I would like to sum up in the sense that, why I see a lot of opportunities for our country, because we are one of the youngest country in the world. And whenever there is youth, there is changes, and changes happen much faster. We are a country which has seen challenges in the past as well. We have seen times when we had huge insurgency or political changes. We survived that. Or we saw a period when the labor relation was really, really poor. There were strikes in every factories or every businesses, and we survived that. We survived a period when we had 16 hours of load shedding. We also survived blockades from our neighboring countries. We've survived various other challenges in our economy, and I'm sure, and this is a challenge which we're going to survive and is going to come as an opportunity for all of us. Thank you.